Today we head off to Newby Hall near Ripon for a sports cars in the park meeting, and you'll find some Abarth heavy content and some cars which probably aren't going to feature on other people's YouTubes of the event. So stay tuned and I hope you enjoy it. Well, hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Wolfie's Wheels. Today is the 8th of May 2022 and we're heading off to an event at Newby Hall, which is run by an organisation called Sports Cars in the Park, and I'll put a link in the description below to their website. And these guys specialise in organising events for interesting cars at interesting places, basically sports cars in the park. So we'll head over there today and see what we can see. Now we're going with the Harewood Drivers Club, and I'll put a link to their Facebook page in the description below as well. Let's just see what there is. I think there's meant to be something like 972 cars are booked in to be on display, so there should be some interesting stuff. We're going in the Abarth, by the way, which is just there as well. Well, we made it here. It took us a thick end of an hour to get in through the last sort of mile and a half. It's a massive event, much bigger than I anticipated. But as I said, we've got Harewood Drivers are here. So let's go and have a look around and see what we can find. And the first car we come across is this green Jensen FF. It's a 1970 model. They made the FF between 1966 and 71. And they're made between 320 and 330 of them. The FFs have four-wheel drive and ABS and are powered generally by a 6.3 litre engine, putting out 330 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 8 seconds and 137 mile an hour top end, which is pretty impressive stats for the time it was made. Less impressive is the reputed 11 mpg, but despite that, this one gets well used and gets driven everywhere by the very proud and rightly proud owner. Came across this really nice looking Ultima, Le Mans inspired car. Seems to have a Chevy V8 stuck in the back of it, so I think it'll be pretty rapid. I don't know a lot about them. I think that you can buy them ready-made or in a kit form from a place in Leicester. But I mean, it's a really nice looking thing to have. Just enjoy it. And there was this really nice pearlescent white Maserati. It's a Gran Turismo. It's a 4.7 litre engine. I think it's a 2018 car. Pictures probably don't do it justice, but it was really shiny in the sun. And here's a car I've got a real soft spot for. It's a Saab. This one is a 1989 Saab 900 turbo, so it's got a 2-litre engine in it, putting out about 143, 145 brake. I think they went on to about 120 at the top end. Not staggeringly quick by today's standards, but a Saab is still a Saab, and it's all about the whole thing, not just the 0 to 60s and that. Here's a lovely blue Taycan electric Porsche, really nice car, very wide, but nevertheless you can't knock it at all, really good. Now here's some Abarths. This car here was transitioned into this car here. It's owned by a well-known Abarth Owners Club member. So it is a 70th anniversary, started out life the same as Asbo. And the guy, I think, got a bit bored with the colourway on it, and so he had it wrapped in this absolutely stunning Marlboro wrap. He's played around with the engine a bit too. I think it's putting out 200 or 220 brake, and he's awaiting an intercooler to give it just a little bit more life. So we'll now walk along through the row of various cars, all Abarths on this bit. There's a Scorpion Oro, and then a Competizione in yellow, very nice. Podium blue, and another really nice one here, which I believe is a Biposto. I can't quite remember. There were absolutely hundreds of Abarths there. I mean, it was, considering the event size, there were definitely a large number of Abarths present. But to be honest, there always is, whenever the Abarths go anywhere, Harewood Drivers or even all the Fiats, which we went to at the Motorist, the Abarths were still very much in abundance. Look at the bonnet on this one with its louvers in. Sometimes they do things and sometimes they're just for show. I didn't get to talk to the owner, so I don't know about that one. I did tell the owner of this one that he'd left his lights on, which was good because I think his daughter had done it as opposed to himself. And then just coming up here is Sam's very nice podium blue with the gold wheels. Here we have a charming Seicento Schumacher edition, a 1100cc engine, 54 brake horsepower, but it's not about the power, it's what you do with it. There are about 5,000 of these cars made, a special styling kit, special interior, and there's only about 94, 95 on the road and a couple of hundred on sawn, so quite a rare find really. And now we've got a couple of really super rare Renaults. This first one is a Megane R26 RS F1, made for a limited time between December 06 and middle of 07. Only made 450 of them. 2-litre turbo, 227 brake, 0 to 60 in 6.3 in this unique liquid yellow colour. Absolutely fantastic. And then unbelievably, parked just behind him was this Renault Megane Trophy R. Now this is a super rare car. There are only 30 of them imported into Britain, 300 brake, they made 500 overall, and they cost up to between 58 and 70 something thousand when they were new, so a real left field choice and a super rare car. But there's another one here, can you believe it? We'll see it a bit later on. And by now, we're back running down the front row of the Abarths. Now, to be fair, by now actually some of them had gone, so there were even more here than were there, if you see what I mean. You know, everyone seems to do something to their Abarth. Badge on this one. Again, the Abarth badge and a little stripe on the front of this one. But this one is a bit different. I've spent some time talking to the owner. And he spent a lot of time and effort tuning this car up. currently it's running 300 brake horsepower, and he's wanting to get it up to 4. Pablo Car Collector on Instagram, so I'd follow him if I were you. Rear seat delete, and as we come in, you'll see the beautiful sequential shifter and the carbon backed seats. What's absolutely a gorgeous bit of kit, this. As I say, he's looking to get it to 400 brake at some point. And we come back down the rest of the Abarths. I'll say the rest is even more still. There's a matte black one there, and just coming up, the bonnet on this one is pretty impressive. Don't really see it coming out. Yeah, sort of does. But yeah, the louvers, and Georgine's wrapped one. Not sure about that one. And then there's a Competizione belonging to a friend of mine called Callum on the end there. He uses his car an awful lot. He's a real Abarth boy. So that's kind of this current section of Abarths. But there's time now for some other makes. Now we've got a lovely blue Talbot Lotus, which were made between 79 and 81. It's a Lotus engine in the humble Talbot Sunbeam, rear wheel drive, 5-speed box with a dog leg first. Very nice. And just look at this gorgeous red Rover P5B. It's a 1973 car. I've no idea if it's the original colour or not. It's absolutely stunning, whether it is or isn't. The B part of the P5B denotes 3.5 litre Buick derived V8 engine, and this was of course a favoured car of UK government and royalty back in the day. Yeah. And now we're going to wander down the Harewood Drivers Club, just past an Insignia V6, a GTR and another GTR, and a Toyota Yaris GR, nice little car, a hot Lexus, and a BMW Z3 I believe, a highly tuned up Fiat 500, and then an Abarth, a V8 Murano, nice engine in there. And then as we just wander down a little bit further, see an Audi TT and this absolutely amazing GTR, Nissan GTR. I mean, just look at the carbon fibre bonnet on that. It's amazing, and it's not the only carbon on it. It's a great car. Owen must be very pleased with it. I would be for sure. And next up, I mean, just look at this. It's an MG ZTT. It's a 2004. Very, very rare car. This is one of only 152 Tourers that they made. They come with a V8 engine, but strangely it's not the usual one you see in Rovers. It's actually a Mustang V8, rear wheel drive, 260 brake. Wow, look at its magnificence. And now look at this extra rare car. This is a Toyota Porte. I've never seen or heard of one of these before, but apparently it's a Japanese domestic market mini MPV built by Toyota. This is a Generation 1 car, known as the AP10, and it has a Toyota Yaris engine, 4-speed auto box. There's only 3 in the UK, even though they were made between 2004 and 2020. This is a 2008 car, and I just love that electric sliding passenger door. I was lucky enough to park Asbo, the 695 Settante Anniversario Abarth, outside Newby Hall itself. I've done a review of this car elsewhere on the channel, so have a look at that one and you'll see what I think of the car itself. It's in 1949 Monza Green, 180 brake horsepower car. I absolutely adore driving this. Can't really get enough of it. Well, there you go. That was the Sports Cars in the Park at Newby Hall. It was edited highlights. There was an awful lot more to see there than is on the film. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, share it, tell your mates about the channel, tell your mates about the film, and you could even, of course, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and I don't make anything out of it, but it just helps channel visibility. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the films. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in a future episode of Wolfie's Wheels. Bye.